for tonight. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a great time during this live racing. Before we go to the live images, we want to show you some recaps of what's happening, what's been happening since the beginning, what's been happening in the race till now. So let's go and see it.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. I'm fresh. I'm super excited to start. Yeah.
Are you nervous? What are your expectations?
No, I don't know. Like I just wanted to start to be on the go because everything that is before is always like, let's see and whatever. So I just wanna really start and enjoy.
You've done this course. What are your tactics? What are you gonna do different than last year?
Like last year, I really had it down at the middle of the race, and this year I just want to try to keep pushing and not to be tired at that point. But like I got a little bit of experience during the last year. So.
Good morning. We are here at Traka. It's the day of the race. 5:30 in the morning. We can see everybody lining up in their box. These feelings are amazing. You can see the nervousness of the people. 360 kilometers ahead. They're gonna have a long day, but the climate is just perfect. It's amazing. We're wearing a puffy jacket, but it's pretty good temperature. We're expecting around 25, 28 degrees sunny day. It's not really gonna be windy, so I think they have the perfect conditions, and this is gonna start soon. Come on and join me.
A long day in a bike, and I love it. And yeah, stay enjoy and ride that for everyone.
We are here in the first aid station at Cantallops. This is kilometer 91.1. Here, last year, it's where the race was decided. Mattia and Lachlan didn't stop in this aid station, and they took some meters and they never catch them again. We want to see what's the tactic for this year, who's gonna stop in the aid station for water, for food, to rest a bit. We're waiting for them. They're really close. Let's see.
The pizza. It's been really fun since the start. I'm gonna run you through what's been happening. So the first part, it's a really tough uphill, but a group of 40 people made it to the start, to the finish of that downhill. So it's a big group in the beginning. They got to the first aid station at kilometer 90. We saw the images. It was a bit chaotic, but it was a big group. Some stopped for the water, some stopped for food. Some people had their support there. They changed camel packs, they changed water bottles. And then the hard part started. The first uphill, like really tough uphill, where a little group started to go a bit ahead. Matthias, Diedrich, and a couple of more. We saw them in Llançà, a group of 3 running a bit in front till Port de la Selva, that the next really tough part started, and there is where we saw Matthias run a bit ahead, and then the other guys were chasing all day long. We'll see the live images, but I want to commentate as well a bit what's been happening with the women. It's been Sarah and MET on the front. We saw them at kilometer 91 together. A really cool gesture that we saw, that MET needed to go to the bathroom, so Sarah stopped and waited for her. Then they changed water, camel packs, and then they went together. They've been riding together. We've seen Sarah suffer a bit more than MET, but you'll see the live images as well. And it's been a really exciting race, and we'll go live now. Hello, Till.
Hi.
How are you? Welcome. This is Till. He's gonna be joining me in the live commentating. He's been doing the course. He knows the course. He knows the riders. He's a local in Girona, even though he's not from here.
Not so much.
Tell us a bit about what's been happening, how you see Mattia on the fronts. You've done this part as well. So.
It's honestly, it's ridiculous what he's doing again. I think at the moment he's near the 300-kilometer mark, and it looks like he's got about a 7-kilometer lead now on the boys behind him. I mean, you've got Niels Corvan there, you got Diederik in there, and so on pushing. You still got Jack Thompson in contention there, really close. So still an absolute smash fest. And we've had the 200 race already, and so much can happen. I mean, if you know, see people maybe saw the photos online or something. Our winner in the 200 actually broke his rim just with the last, I don't know, kilometer or something to go, and ran his bike home. So you're really not safe until you cross the finish line. But Mattia, with the back-to-back wins here already, really doing his thing again right now.
Yeah, the 360 course, Traka has been running for, this is the 5th edition, but the 360 course has been, this is the 3rd edition, and Mattia has won them all. The first 2 editions, and how it looks, I think he's in the run for this one too. You never know, you have to wait till the end, but
yeah. We'll see. I mean, a couple surprises there. I don't know what happened, for example, to Sepp Breuer, who was, I think, until Selva, very much up there when they started the climb. So I'm not sure if he's just not having the day or having a technical. We've seen a lot of technicals throughout the day so far, but yeah, we're seeing the pictures right now from out on the course. I think it's Mattia, and it's a nice flat part. You see he's taking it a little bit easy right now, but also because he can, and it's still ways to go, you know. It's like one of the big challenges, I think, about the route where they are right now is you feel like you've gone across or like over that hard final climb in a way, and in your head it might feel like you're home, but you're really not. It's still a long way to go for them, and it's super hot out there by now. It's seriously dusty. So nutrition, everything is for sure a key part right now. But he's looking good on his way for a 3rd one. But it'll be interesting to see how the gents behind fare. It's an amazing battle right now. Cool stories in there as well. Like if you look at Niels, who's currently riding in 3rd, breaking his bike yesterday and really scrambling to find a replacement, which is nothing like his race bike that he has. And now he's on a bike he's not ridden a meter before. Came here really stressed, was like, I have no hopes for my race really. I'm just going out there without any pressure. And now he's still sitting in 3rd, near the 300-kilometer mark. So really cool racing so far.
Yeah, and we also saw Diederik is on the front. He's been doing Traka almost since the beginning. He's not from here, but he's local. He's been in Girona for so long, and it's been really nice to see how he's doing, how he's fighting, and.
Absolutely. I mean, he did really well last year already, and he was just really out of luck to just finish outside the podium last year. But he's developed a lot since last year, and I think he's gotten a lot stronger, and he's up there. But again, like if you look at the situation right now, it kind of like was building up after Selva already in that climb and so on. Mattia started to go more and more to the front and really pulling the other boys along. So he earned that lead that he is in right now. And it looks like cruising, but he is absolutely flying again. We're definitely looking, at another daylight finish here today for the race. So it won't be too long now until we're going to celebrate them. And then you mentioned it, the women's race. Really, really nice gesture there. Really cool to see the spirit that we still have in the sport, helping each other out. She really didn't have to do that to stop and wait, but really like just saying, you know, we're going to battle it out with the legs today, and who's got the strongest head, and not who needs to go to the bathroom or has a slight mechanical or something.
Yeah, it's nice to see the camaraderie between the riders, the racers now, but their friends also, and it's nice to see that part as well, the human part of racing. And what do you think? Do you think Mattia's move, he kind of always makes the move in that uphill. Do you think it's a bit brave? Because the weather today, it's been so windy and so unpredictable, and now it's warm, it's just...
I think it really doesn't matter, because you've met Mattia before. He just doesn't know any other way, really. I mean, I think he's such a laid-back and relaxed guy and so on, and I really don't think there is that much happening in terms of tactics or planning beforehand. He just goes wherever his legs take him and however fast they take him. And if it's good enough for the win on the day, he's happy. If somebody else is stronger, he's happy as well. But I'm not even sure it was a purposeful attack in a way. I think he just went in the legs and the others just couldn't follow. So he really, in my opinion, had no other choice than, if you wait around, You know, like, again, you look at the 200, you look at Paul. He made the move in the final climb, and at the end of the day, he needed that, because with a broken rim and having to run, he then started losing time again, but because he did open up this gap, he still took home the win. So Mattia has to ride the pace that he feels right now, even if it means going solo.
Yeah, we'll see the images of the 200 because it's been incredible. It was so... I had goosebumps at the finish, just seeing him run and looking back if the riders were gonna catch him. So yeah, it's really exciting. We'll have some images for you. But yeah, what Mattia's been doing, he hasn't been gone to his word, because this morning he told me he was gonna wait in Pals to do pizza and give it to all of them. They were joking in the morning about that, so yeah.
Yeah, I think like he was one of the many. Like, there were a few people saying they ordered the pizza already, and I have a slight feeling that the one who actually stuck to his plan might be Ulrich Barthelmes, who's in the race here as well. I think he's sitting somewhere in 16th right now, about a good solid 16, 17 kilometers behind. And he basically, when we talked to him in the morning, like I think you had the interview with him, he was just talking about the different food stops that he organized. And I wouldn't put it past him to actually have stopped and had that food along the way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a local from Girona. He's not from here either, but we get him as a local. He loves the cafes. He loves rustics, staying there, going for breakfast. And he said that the 360, it's a short race for him. So he's usually 2,000 kilometers. That's what he likes, no?
Yeah, I mean, definitely longer. Like I would say from 800 upwards is more his thing. And it's just showing again today. Like, he is an incredibly strong rider, but Janos, who you'll have in here later on, sorry Janos to put you on the spot, but when we chatted about him earlier, we said about Ulrich, he's not the most talented guy, but he has an insanely strong head, and that what really helps him in those ultra races and everything. And he's just missing, I think, that freshness in the legs. We saw it last year when he, I know him well enough to be allowed to say that, when we saw him sprint for the finish line, and it looked a little bit like two trucks passing each other on the freeway. It's just not his thing, really. So, but he loves the races here. He's always up for the fun and everything. So it's good to see him racing there again. But I don't think it's the biggest surprise that he's not at the very top up there right now. Yeah,
we'll have to have the Traka 2000 maybe, no? And that will be good for him.
Rumor has it, I've heard the word that there might be some ultra idea floating around. I think he very much is pushing for it, actually, with the organizers, really hoping that something. So maybe that is the future. We're seeing a Classmark or a Traka event that is very different from any edition we've seen before. Everything's gotten bigger, more competitive. Again, ridiculous times today in the 200. Of course, favorable condition compared to last year. The headwinds out to the coast were not as bad as last year. But still, if you look at it, I think, again, we need to ask Janos later when he's coming on the show, but I think he still raced faster than last year's winner, and that still puts him somewhere outside the top 10 or something today. He was a little bit unlucky out on the race today, getting stuck between two groups. But yeah, it just shows, I think the time was about half an hour faster than last year on the 200 alone. It's gotten stupid competitive.
Yeah, it's so fast. Every year it's gotten faster. Thanks still for giving your wise words, and hope to have you a bit later, no?
Yep, I think you've got a fantastic lineup of guests, and I'll be happy to fill in whenever. So I'm going to jump back onto the finish line. Still a lot of athletes to welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And everybody else out there, enjoy the live stream.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks still. I'm Annabelle, I'm from the Capita Cyclist Gravel team, and we're here in Girona to race the Traka. It's a new challenge, a new year. Really excited to be back in Girona, where it all started. The race on Saturday, it's going to be a really tough one, and it's going to start really fast because everyone's going to want to be in the front group. Luckily we have Hutchinson's with us. Now, I'm on the Hutchinson Touareg 40mm tyre, and the reason why we've chosen this is because there's going to be a real mix of terrain on Saturday. There's going to be some mud, some compact gravel, loose gravel, asphalt, and I personally want a tyre that rides well and rides fast, and this tyre will go everywhere.
images. Face of puzzle pieces that don't fit together. Puzzle pieces that don't fit together. It's never right, but you just can't move on. You can't decide, take away or put on your time, but you won't stop working a masterpiece in the flesh. It's your heart. It's your heart. It's yours. The doctor's hands carry out the plans to take you all apart and put you back again. Your face is canvas and your own body serves as the easel. It's just so hard to quit when you're hooked on it. You're just a junkie craving one more plastic fix. Keep you updated with all the latest trends of the seasons. Face of puzzle pieces that don't fit together. Puzzle pieces that don't fit together. It's never right, but you just can't move on. You can't decide, take away or put on your time, but you won't stop working a masterpiece in the flesh. It's your puzzle. It's your puzzle. It's yours.
But we know there's a chasing group, a bit more than 5 minutes behind, with Diedrich and Tobias Morch. We'll get the images soon, but we have a special guest right now that I'm really excited for, Lorena Vives. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you, I'm doing good. The weather is great here, so I'm enjoying it.
What brought you to Girona?
Yeah, well, I signed up last year already for the 100K, and yeah, I was like, I do a training camp before. And I was lucky actually that I had no road race, so I could come.
I've known you've done some gravel, but have you raced in like international?
Not international gravel races, I did only the Dutch championships, and that's different gravel than here.
Yeah, how are you liking the gravel in Girona? I've seen you in the course, you've done the hill climb. What do you like, the atmosphere?
Yeah, I did also a longer endurance ride on the gravel bike, and I really enjoyed the views and everything, and such a nice roads. And yeah, the hill challenge, it was completely new for me, the whole atmosphere, but I enjoyed it.
What are your expectations for tomorrow?
Well, I think it will be hard anyway. We start with the climb, so that will be suffering. I hope that I can pace it well. Hopefully no mechanicals, because I'm not so good in changing my tires or something, so then I have a small problem. But yeah, I hope I enjoy it as much as possible. And of
that's
course
the different thing from the road to the gravel, no? On the road you're always riding, and if you have a mechanical, you put one hand and they come and change one wheel. If you put the other hand, they come and change another wheel. But here you have to be a bit self-sufficient and yeah, change it as quick as possible. But with the material you have, for sure, you don't have any problem.
No, luckily I'm good supported by the team.
Yeah, and 100 kilometers. Were you thinking about the 200? Why did you choose the 100?
Well, because I never trained even 200 kilometers. So I think Tour de France last year, it was my longest day on the bike with kilometers. So I was like, first start with 100 and we will see next year maybe the 200.
What's your favorite race on the road?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to say. I really like Flanders and Amstel Gold Race, but yeah, also races like Gent-Wevelgem.
If you could win one race, which one would it be?
I think Flanders then. Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, you've had an incredible season with the team. How's been the mood there? And it's a new team for you. It's your first year in this team.
Yeah, I felt directly welcome in the team, and we had also a nice trip to the USA, to California, to do 3 days of bikepacking on a gravel bike. So we did some gravel. Yeah, that was the first step to build up the team, and yeah, the other training camps went also good, and yeah, we showed directly our legs.
It's been incredible. It's been dominating. And do any of the girls like doing gravel as well?
Yeah, I think Barbara did some gravel races last year, so she would like to do, I think, also some gravel races.
Hopefully we see them next year here. All the team,
Yeah.
no?
I will try.
If you have to give one advice to the people that are watching that love gravel, what would it be?
Well, take your bike out and go for a gravel ride and enjoy the views, and maybe don't go too hard in the beginning.
And how do you feel technically?
Yeah, maybe start with a bit of an easier parcours and build it up a bit, because like here it can be really technical, the roads. But first, yeah, take it safe. Don't take too much risk, because tomorrow I also not taking too much risks.
We hope you have a great race tomorrow, and we'll get an interview from you when you finish, and you can tell us how great it was.
Yeah,
Thank you, Lorena, for
Thank
being
you.
here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
I'm Annabelle, I'm from the Capital Cyclist Gravel team, and we're here in Girona to race a Traka. It's a new challenge, a new year. Really excited to be back in Girona, where it all started. The race on Saturday, it's going to be a really tough one, and it's going to start really fast because everyone's going to want to be in the front group. Luckily we have Hutchinson's with us. I'm on the Hutchinson Touareg 40mm tyre, and the reason why we've chosen this is because there's going to be a real mix of terrain on Saturday. There's going to be some mud, some compact gravel, loose gravel, asphalt, and I personally want a tyre that rides well and rides fast, and this tyre will go everywhere.
We're back with the live images. Still Matthias on the front, Didrik and Tobias. They're chasing really hard to get him, but this is going to be, yeah, just a chase till the end, I think. If nothing mechanical happens, we'll continue with the last gravel path, just rolling gravel. It's just by the river. Matthias has done this race. It's always similar, the ending, so he knows it well. And yeah, hopefully we'll see him pretty soon. I'm really excited for the next person that is here with me. It's the face of the Traka. She's done all the races. She's won almost all of them. So yeah, I'm really excited for Olivia to be here. And we have the future of gravel as well. Yeah, how have you seen Traka grown? It's the 5th edition of Traka. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, we're in the 5th year, and back, I guess 2019, the first one.
Yeah.
And they had 2 stages in 2 days, and
a bit muddy, no?
Yeah, it was a bit muddy. I think they had to shorten it because the race was super wet. But yeah, 2 days in a row was amazing. And then I guess we moved to the 200. They decided to go a higher distance, a bit longer, and then the next year was the 360, and yeah, I've done them all. And then last year I did the 200th with Sequoia in my belly. So she's done one too.
What is your favorite distance for Traka?
It's the 360. It was really it was the longest. When I did it, it was the furthest I'd ever ridden. And the course is just spectacular. I had left lots of it just not ridden, so that on the day it would be like an adventure. So, you know, going to the Catacase and Cap de Cruz area, having never ridden there before and doing it in the race was just, yeah, spectacular. So it's, you know, it's such a great event, and it's been really fun to see it grow. And now we have, you know, riders coming from all over the world. You have live streaming. It's incredible. So. And
your favorite part of the course?
Of the 360? Yeah, I mean, Cap de Cruz area for sure. It's pretty spectacular. Apart from the year we did it, I'm sure they're doing it, the hike-a-bike that Gerard put in was pretty brutal.
They're not doing it this year.
They're not doing it, okay.
They're lucky.
Yeah. I mean, the climb on the way back too is pretty cool. So, yeah, just the whole thing together, yeah, it's when you do races. I think here the courses are so much more adventurous. So that's it's constantly changing. You know, you're going through so many different areas of Catalonia, so you never get bored, essentially.
What are the changes you've seen from year 1 to year 5 now?
Yeah, I mean, everything has changed, but you know, at the same time, you still have a really great sense of community in the event, yeah, the number of people coming, I think we're at 2,000 from 60. So, I mean, in a way, everything has changed, but at the same time, yeah, the spirit of the event is still there, and that's really cool to see. So.
Yeah, it's that community. Now, the Traka has become like a week event because we've done so many rides during the week and just being with everybody. Now you've been taking part of some of them. What are your feelings? How's the community grown?
Yeah, that's totally true. The whole, it's now a week of Traka, right? And all the brands and people are here having rides every day or various events, and so you can make, it's not just race day anymore. It's like, yeah, the build up to it is super fun. So yeah, and for me, I don't get to ride as much these days, so I've enjoyed just joining the rides the last few days. Have been really fun. But I do get to ride tomorrow.
We know Olivia, she always races and she's always in good shape. As a Girona local, because you've been here for a long time, what do you recommend? Why is Girona so special? Why is the Traka so special?
Yeah, I mean, the town itself is beautiful. It's Old Town. You know, just living here has been, you know, really a blessing for the last number of years. Obviously, we're in California as well. But yeah, just, you know, it's such a cycling destination. The riding on the road is amazing. But then the gravel itself is just, you know, endless. You can go out and do so many adventures. So like in training for the 360, that's what we did just every weekend with Maya. Went down on big long rides that were really adventurous. So that's what's, but yeah, locally the restaurants are amazing, the coffee shops, and the community is, you know, we both have, there's a lot of expats and international people, but there's loads of locals from Girona here too. So the you know, everybody getting to know each other has been pretty cool. So.
Yeah, that's really special. And that's the summer I realized that Olivia never gets tired. Like we were doing 8-hour rides and she was still going at the same pace at the beginning. So yeah, she's incredible. Please follow her. She is amazing. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Maya.
being here. Gracias, Sequoia. Thank you. We've seen the images. We've seen the chasing group here. They're working as hard as possible to get to Matthias. We've seen how the terrain in Girona is. It's just perfect gravel. It's so green because this time of the year, Girona in spring is spectacular. You see the flowers, you see the packed gravel, green everywhere. Now we're getting a bit of wind, but yeah, it's kind of summer, but at least you have the wind that's been cooling. I think they've had almost the perfect conditions today for a great ride. we've been seeing the live images, how they pedal. It's incredible that after 300 kilometers, they still have the strength to seem that they're done nothing. It's just so fresh, their cadence is really well. They've been chasing, they're working together, it's nice. I'm really excited again because we have another outsider but local, Rudy May. She's with us today again. She loves racing gravel in her road bike, but she still crushes the competition. She knows the roads. She's been doing some work today for Dan.
Yes.
No? Is it harder to be on the feed zones, or is it harder to race?
I think I'm better at racing because I know it so well. But in the feed zone, it's nice to get the different perspective, and you have to know all the different locations and everybody. I was feeding a few people, so get this bit and this one, and you're looking for the rider. It's kind of fun. It's because then it also makes you appreciate when people are doing this for you. You're like, yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm tired.
Do you feel more nervous racing or doing the Soñur for somebody else?
I actually think I feel more nervous doing this one year because I don't want to get it wrong. And it's in a gravel race, you really kind of you have support, but a lot of it's on your own. You know, you haven't got the team car hey, come bring me a bidon or fix my tire. You really have to, that bidon is really important in that moment because it's such a long, hard race. And the 200, for example, is just full gas the whole time. So you're burning through incredible amounts of carbohydrates. So it's super important the riders get their bidons at the right time and the right amount. So I felt a bit nervous about that, but luckily we mostly nailed it.
Yeah, you know how important it is to get the bidon. And if you don't get it, it's 90 kilometers to the next aid station. Maybe you need to stop, and that makes you lose a lot of time. So yeah, it does make you nervous.
I did hear that some of the riders were, if someone missed a bit and another one could give it to them. And so although they're competitors, there is a bit of camaraderie between the top riders to help each other out, which is nice too.
Yeah, that's so nice to see. We saw that with the girls waiting for each other for the bathroom stop because we know how hard that is.
Takes a long time.
It's always a secret how we do it. Everybody has her way.
Exactly.
We're not going to talk about that today, but it makes it a bit harder for us sometimes.
It's true. Bit of a delay.
Yes. And what got you into gravel?
Well, I've just been racing all sorts of bikes. I'm a professional road cyclist now, but I just enjoy riding my bike no matter what. So the first gravel race I did was in Steamboat Springs a few years ago. What's it called? The one in Steamboat Springs.
Yeah, I remember.
And anyway, I don't race gravel that frequently because it's usually such a packed road calendar. But if I have the opportunity and I have, enough shape, then I'd like to do it. For example, I really wanted to do the Traka this year, but I was meant to be at the Vuelta, but then I had an injury, so in the end I couldn't race the Traka either. But it was, still good to be involved in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I still remember when I saw you racing in Rancho with a road bike on the gravel, and she was mashing it till somebody had a flat and you had to stop.
Oh, I was kind of, at the Rancho. I remember it was my first race back after an injury, so I was trying to be a little bit tranquilo, stopping at the feed zones, taking some oranges. But with the road bike, I did put some thicker tires on, and often we do race in Strada Bianchi, we're racing on the cobbles, we're racing in Paris-Roubaix, so you're used to the feeling of racing your road bike on uneven surfaces. Of course, a gravel bike is more suited, and if I had a gravel bike, yes, I would choose to race it. But it was kind of why not?
Yeah, and you love the technical stuff. You do mountain bike as well, all the races around here.
But I think the more competitive it's getting, you can really see that having the right equipment and having good equipment does make a difference. There's lots of opportunities where you could have a flat tire or mechanical, and you need to understand your bike and also, have good equipment.
How do you think the gravel has grown around Europe or on the world? Woman-wise, we've seen more women in the races. Growing a bit more than the road, I think. Why do you think that?
I think that gravel racing is just way more accessible to everybody. I mean, you don't need to be, on a team necessarily. I suppose there's not as many logistical nightmares with closing roads and all this kind of stuff. You can be in nature a bit more. And it's just I think it's got a mix between a fun social event at the same time as being competitive, and that appeals to more people. You know, I feel like in the World Tour and the road, everybody's super competitive and it's your job and you like need to win. And gravel offers a bit of everything. So like in the Rancho, for example, I was having a really good time, pushing a little bit, meeting some new people, and then other times I might be really racing full gas, and you can do this in the gravel. So yeah, I think in Europe it's grown so much. I mean, I remember the first Traka, and it was a little small event, mostly local people, and like Olivia said, you have people coming from all over the world, people coming from America, where we know the gravel scene is probably the best in the world. So Europe has, you know, so many beautiful places to race, so it's cool that it's getting more growth here.
Nice. Yeah, we would love to see you on Traka next year. You know all the local racers. You get to train with them. What do you think about Diedrich? The race he's doing, how he's pedaling. He's been dreaming of this.
Yeah, I mean, Diedrich has been meticulously preparing for this race for a long time. I know he often does some recon out there, which is a long day out. And he's really smart with his nutrition. He's really smart with his training, and he also enjoys it. So I think I'd like to see him have a good day. I think he's pretty good at remaining calm. And I mean, I've never raced that far, but I can only imagine that a lot of it is mental, and you're going to feel pain, but it's about just kind of accepting that you're going to feel pain and how you deal with that.
What do you think are Diedrich's strengths?
I do think his attitude is one of his strengths, to be honest. I mean, if something goes wrong, he's got the ability to fix it. He's a good mechanic. I do think his preparation is one of his strengths as well. So he knows when he goes there, he's prepared, like he's done the work. And yeah, his attitude towards it, like he obviously enjoys doing it. He enjoys the suffering. So I think that will get him through the race.
Yeah, for him it's a local race, so
yeah.
I think he has all the community cheering for him, and he knows that. So
definitely, and he seems to like keep people updated on what he's doing, and people follow him in his training. So yeah, I hope to. He's definitely up there competing with the best. So it's pretty cool to see.
You've done this course of the 360. What's your favorite part of it?
I haven't done the full 360 course. I've done patches of it. I actually really like the last, it's almost the last 30 kilometers, where you have this beautiful, it's kind of single track, but it's kind of gravel road along the river, and it's like really cool compared to the hot exposed roads. And you know you're getting close to the finish too, so I feel like you could enjoy it a bit more, but I don't know how I would feel after 360 Ks. And I'm sure that going over towards Cadaqués and along those roads would be just absolutely stunning. You get a good variety of terrain in the 360 for sure.
Yeah, you need to definitely do that course because it's amazing. The Cadaqués part is just, I don't know how people race it, because I would be stopping everywhere just to take pictures.
My plan is to ride there slowly, sleep overnight, wake up in the morning, take a coffee, then ride back the next day. So I'll start with that.
I recommend that one. I've done it recently and it's pretty nice. Port de la Selva to sleep, amazing. Ooh. I think for me that's the best town. It's my favorite. And then the uphill to Cadaqués in the morning, fresh, after some coffee.
Yeah, I often do a lap out to Port de la Selva on the road, and we always take a group so we can turn on the way home. But yeah, that town, always a good spot to stop.
Yeah, I think this 360 course has a bit of everything. You start an uphill just to break a bit the group. The downhill is a bit technical because it's loose and everybody wants to be in position. Then you have a bit of flat with technical uphill afterwards. Then you have the Cadaqués part that it gets really tough because it just keeps going up and a bit technical. And sometimes it breaks you. We've seen some pictures with people walking with their bikes.
Wow.
If you do it on a day fresh, you're fine. But then when the kilometers go by, it's just so hard. And then what you said, just mentally. So sometimes even walking, it's fine. All the pros sometimes have to do it. And then you're thinking about it just mentally.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. That when you get to, if you're in recon and you feel good and you see one part of it, it's very different to after a long time of racing. Also the nervousness of a competitive day, and you know, you do have to approach it a bit differently on race day. I think the main thing is just being calm and riding within yourself, you know, especially in this distance. Of course, we're seeing a little bit of tactics with the top riders together, but ultimately it's going to be the person who can manage themselves the best and is probably the most prepared that we'll see win, avoiding bad luck. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for these riders. I think it's pretty incredible what they're doing, and just like you mentioned before, just how smoothly they're still pedaling and maintaining a really good speed is quite impressive to me. It just shows that, again, they've managed themselves well. If you go too crazy in the beginning, you're not going to look like that this far in.
No, we see them stretching a bit, but that's kind of what we do. No, after so many hours on the bike, you need to reset the position, change a bit. Some people put time trial to rest a bit their arms, their back. It's just changing the position. What's the longest you've been on the bike?
I actually think the Steamboat Springs race was the longest, but it was in miles, so I'm not entirely sure. I think it was like 7 hours on the bike, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah, you do just have to consider that you want to get to the end still being able to pedal. Like, you don't want to have to die in the last 20 Ks or something like that. But the long distance, I think it's appealing because it does feel like a different kind of challenge. But I think at this point in my career, I prefer the more dynamic races. But yeah, it's a long way.
You like the races where you finish and then you cannot talk or breathe, no?
More or less.
Thank you, Brody.
No problem at all.
It's so nice to have you, and hopefully we see you next year on the Traka 360.
Yeah, I hope so, and it sounds like maybe Lorena Wibis is coming next year and some SD Works riders. And
nice, it's so nice to see all the women.
Yeah,
like
the Traka gossip is spreading, so we'll hopefully see. I mean, already this year the competition in the women's field was, so it's going to be tough, but we like it.
It's been so fast and crazy, and we'll see the women soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you very much.
To be
like a food pot.
well, why not? For us, mood.
Adventure is a feeling
that we live for. It's in our DNA.
Adventure is the spirit of Komoot.